Welcome back to the Drama Experience. I'm Dim.
And I'm Tay, and today we are talking about our birth story.
Yes, our birth story. I feel like it's a story that is very important to us, but not only important, but I feel like people need to tap into women when they're pregnant. I feel like something that nobody really talks about, right? Yeah, people don't talk about their pregnancy, but let's get into it.
We'll talk about it today. Our wedding was in 2019, in June, and we decided to start trying to conceive in March.
Yeah.
We thought it was going to be short, but it ended up not being a short process. It took us almost
11 months.
11 months.
Yeah, like 11 months.
And usually they tell you, like, if you don't conceive within 1 year, you should see a doctor. And we were almost there. Then something happened.
Wait, before you get to that, I was like, yo, in my head, I'm like, wait, I can't, like, what's going on? Is something wrong with me? Like, that's what I was thinking before when we were trying to conceive. It took so long, but
something happened. It's Valentine's Day. We were actually traveling to Gambia the next day.
Yeah.
And I was kind of being last minute, to be honest. And he told me, he was like, you know, whatever you do, just don't come home late for work. Come home at your regular times. I was like, cool. But I really wanted to stop in Victoria's Secret.
But look, I told her that because I had things planned for her. I don't know if she knew that I had things planned for her, but I wanted to make sure she get there on time. Make sure you get home on time.
So I need to sneak off to Victoria's Secret first and still make it home on time. So I go, everything going well, but then when I got to the register, she was like, I'm eligible for 2 free bras. So I was like, who could pass up a deal like this? Let me go get the bras. Long story short, I had only 6 minutes to get to the Metro North, and I looked to try to take an Uber. It was gonna take me 15 minutes, so I had to catch the train. So I run to the train. I'm on 125th Street. For those of you who are in New York City, it's crowded. It's about 5 o'clock, and I'm literally sprinting, and I do not exercise at all. I get to the platform. I'm out of breath. I'm a little tired, you know, but it's cool. Train comes, and I'm standing on the train, and now I feel like I gotta throw up. And I'm like, what's going on here, right? At this point, it's been 11 months we've been trying to conceive. It's not working, so it's kind of like out of my mind now.
Yeah.
Let me just be safe. Let me just take a pregnancy test. I'm not thinking nothing of it. I didn't even tell him I bought it. I just went to the bathroom. I was just gonna take the test, and if it was negative, I was just not even gonna tell him, because it's a thing every time you see a negative pregnancy test.
Yo.
I'm not gonna put him through that. I'm not gonna even tell him. It's Valentine's Day, right? I go to the bathroom, and when I tell you, it took forever for that result to come, and I'm like, oh my God.
It was crazy. I'm thinking about it. What I was doing that whole time you was in the bathroom?
I don't know, but I go, he has a chef and everything. It's all nice, and I'm like, I need to go to the bathroom and take this pregnancy test. So I take it, and it says pregnant, and I'm like, I'm pregnant.
Yo.
I'm pregnant. So what am I gonna do? Do I like just tell him? I'm like, no. So I had this little Gucci box.
No fucking way. No fucking way. That's crazy.
Somebody's gonna be a dad.
Oh my God, son.
So boom, we're pregnant. We're having a baby. We're very excited about it.
And we're going to Africa the next day, Gambia.
So we go to Gambia. We're there for about 3 weeks. And this time, I actually don't feel anything. I'm not sick or anything. I'm just pregnant and I'm hot. That's all. I was just burning up hot. I had a OBGYN, but the woman went to another hospital or something. It was in Brooklyn. We lived too far, so I had to look for someone new. I really wanted a woman of color. The doctor that I came to happened to not be a woman of color, but the person at the office highly recommended it to me, and I think that she had a great recommendation. So I decided to go with Columbia Presbyterian. I always said that if I had a baby, I would give birth in Columbia Presbyterian or Lenox Hill. I went to my doctor's appointment.
Loved that hospital, loved it.
Everything was good. It was honestly during the pandemic, so Dim didn't go to the doctor's appointments with me. I FaceTimed him, and we would see Raya.
I was always downstairs in the car.
On the ultrasound, moving a mile a minute with her head is like big, and she was just in there like going crazy.
Go crazy.
Everything was nice and sweet.
Yeah.
We had a gender reveal. We found out it was a girl. Honestly, everything was going smooth. I'm a healthy person, never been hospitalized. I've never broke a bone, nothing. One day, we were in the house, and where we used to live, the building didn't allow you to come up on the elevator without a fob. So he got stuck.
I went to go get something in the car, that's what it was.
Oh, so then he calling me, but my phone is always on Do Not Disturb, especially at night. So he calling me, he's like, I don't want to bother you, but I really need you to come downstairs. So I get up out of my bed, I go downstairs, I come upstairs, and then, you know, I wanted to use the restroom because you always get to pee when you're pregnant. So I'm like, I'm gonna pee and I'm gonna go back to sleep.
I feel like that moment was like, it was like God working because it's like, I woke you up out of your sleep for you to find out, you know, what's going on.
And when I went to the bathroom, I was bleeding. I just noticed that I was just bleeding a lot, like menstrual period bleeding. I was about 6 months pregnant at that time. So imagine being 6 months pregnant and seeing blood everywhere. I was hysterical. I called the doctor. So she's like, Shantae, I would tell you to go to your nearest hospital, but I really need you to get to me. Can you get here? Dim drove.
That I was driving like I had no sense. She was in the car, but it's not like I was driving recklessly. I was driving very fast and trying to get to the destination at a fast pace. I was not stopping at certain red lights. It was so many things going through my mind at that moment, just seeing blood, knowing that she's 6 months pregnant.
We got there in like 15 minutes.
We got there in like 15 minutes.
And also, it was about 3 o'clock in the morning. This was in the middle of the night.
I think that was a perfect time because there's no cars on the road, so I was able to, you know, pass red lights and get on the highway quick with no problem and get to the destination.
So we get there and it's COVID. My phone's always on do not disturb and then it's always dead. So I grabbed my cell phone. They're like, I'm trying to get up into the emergency room, but they're like, you can't come.
I was so livid. I was so upset. Like, what you mean I can't come upstairs? I can't fight them, you know what I mean? They gotta do their job. I wanted her to make sure she got there anyways.
So they take me upstairs and I go, they check me, they put me on this the baby monitor and to check for a heartbeat, of course, and Raya's heart is thriving, she's beating. Thank God. So they're like, what happened? I explained it to them. They're like, we don't see any blood. I'm like, no, I was bleeding. Blood. I got up in my clothes, there was blood on my clothes. It was like, did you fall? Did you cut yourself? They trying to figure it out. No, so they said, all right, we're gonna monitor you for 24 hours. They were able to let them up again. I'm sure it was terrible for him because he probably was calling me and I couldn't tell him that everything was okay because my cell phone was dead. A nurse literally gave me her charger.
So I was downstairs the whole time just praying. I was praying, I talked to my parents, they was calming me down a little bit. My mom was calming me down, my sisters, everybody was like calming me down. I was just like so nervous and anxious trying to see what's going on. But this whole time I was downstairs just waiting to hear from her, but her phone was dead. I actually was able to come up and heard the good news that like Raya was still, her heartbeat was still good. I was so happy.
It was kind of like a weird time because we were really happy, we were really scared because they tell you very scary things, like things you don't want to hear. What I experienced was a placental abruption, and that's like when your placenta shifts. So it was just like, oh, I don't know how it happened to me, but it happened. And with the blood loss, they were like, if this continues to happen, like if you continue to bleed and we have to deliver you, Raya was not at the gestational age where the hospital was legally liable for her. So if I gave birth, I had to decide if I wanted them to care for her or if I wanted to just let her pass. So they were like, what would you want to do? We literally had to like tell them. I think that we had to kind of like make a decision just in case. I had to sign a whole bunch of paperwork and they were like, you know, that's just in case. They kept me for a few days, like a week. Nothing happened, I never bled again. But then when they checked me, they said that I had IUGR, like a Intrauterine Growth Restriction. So Raya, because of the placenta issue, they said I also lost some fluids. She had a restricted growth, so she wasn't growing at the rate she was supposed to. She was a small baby. And they were like, you know what, we're going to just make sure you're okay. You have to come to the hospital every week. At one point, they were like, oh, your baby's back on track. You're good. And I was like, great. Even better. Let's plan a baby shower. We planned a baby shower. I was like, you know, with everything that's going on, I think that we should have the baby shower a little bit earlier. Raya was due in October. We were having a baby shower in August. Just to kind of like get it out the way. Just a few people because it's COVID. And my birthday came. I went to like a doctor's appointment right after my birthday, literally like 2 days after. And I got there, I was so hungry. But I was like, I'm going to be late. Let me just go and then we go to Chipotle after. That
was the original plan. Go, and then after you're done, we go to Chipotle after.
So I went there and then they were like, her Dopplers are off. And I think the Dopplers are what
the fluids is.
The flow of the blood from the baby to the placenta working. Her heart rate was a little bit up and down. So they was like, we need to check you, but right now I had like a 4:30 appointment. we're closing at 5, so we gotta just send you over to the emergency room so that you can be further examined. Test. They said we only need to run you for 20 minutes. That 20 minutes turned into like never leaving the hospital again.
What, like a month, I think?
Like a month.
Yes.
Raya's heart rate was so unstable that I couldn't leave the hospital. I stayed in the hospital for almost a month. I had to reschedule my baby shower, which whatever, right? It's just a baby shower. I had to reschedule that. I was in the bed for 24 hours a day. I only could get off the monitor, so it's like a little belt that goes around you, and it monitors your contractions
and the baby's heart rate.
And the baby's heart rate. So Raya would literally be, I don't know what she was doing in the stomach, but running a race.
She was doing a whole bunch of everything. sometimes they would have the monitor and she would kick the monitor.
She would kick it, or she would go over there, and then they would have to move it.
She was always an active baby from day one. Like always. Raya was just always active. Like always active.
She's still like that now.
Yeah.
So she would literally be moving a mile a minute the whole day. Heart rate going up, heart rate going down. They can't track her. So I didn't get off the monitor only for 1 hour break a day and to use the bathroom and to take a shower. So I was in my bed. Depo was seeing me for about 6 hours a day.
Yeah, because it was COVID. It was some restrictions. Basically, I couldn't see her only from a certain time to a certain time.
It was like 11 to 3.
It was like 11 to 3. No, it's 10. Yeah, 11 to 3. So I would come there basically every morning at 11 and I would leave at 3. It was so sad to just leave her every time because I always wanted to stay even longer, you know what I mean?
The plan was to keep me from August until October until my due date. But with Raya being so unstable, so basically this is what happened. How did Raya come into the world? Now it's the day that Raya is born. So it was literally like every other day, Dem was just in the hospital. But what's different about this day is a visitation policy change. So you can have your partner could stay overnight now. Yes. You can have overnight guests.
It literally changed that day.
At 34 weeks, babies usually have mature lungs, and that's the most important thing. So we're gonna deliver you on Sunday. I was gonna be 34 weeks on Sunday. Something told me, I'm like, then bring my baby stuff. I never got a chance to pack a baby bag or anything, so I was already prepared to have a C-section. Raya was breached, she was small, and we knew that physically she wouldn't be able to handle a vaginal labor. So he comes with this stuff, he's just there. We chilling, he bought me African Guinea. You know guys, if you watch the other video, I love African Guinea. I'm eating my lamb, chilling. My doctor comes in.
She comes in very friendly, like you don't think nothing of it.
She looks so happy to see them. You're here, that's great. And then she's like, she goes to the machine, and she's like, I don't like this, so we're gonna deliver the baby now. And I was like what? Now? Yeah, we had to call our parents and everything, and she was just like, you know, her heart rate keeps going up and down, and I'm just afraid that it's gonna go down and not come back up, and then we're gonna have to rush you into delivery. We don't want that. Let's just take her out now, see what's going on, and go from there. So that's what they did.
Yep, that's exactly what they did.
So we went to the operating room, and it was a wonderful experience. Like, the anesthesiologist came and she explained to me everything that was going to happen. I had like, my doctor was there, and there was another person there to like a nurse to type of support me. So they gave me the epidural. He wasn't in the room for the epidural.
When they was doing these other procedures, I couldn't be in there.
But you were getting dressed.
Yeah, I was getting dressed. I was getting dressed to get into my my hospital gown, my surgical mask and hat and gloves. I was nervous a little bit, but I was excited too at the same time. It was a weird feeling.
I just wasn't prepared for what I thought a C-section was. I thought they just slit you, bam, right? And it was just not like that. First off, the room was extremely cold. It's about a 45-minute process. At one point, I started to feel nauseous, so they had to give me anti-nausea medicine. And you just feel like someone going like this, like literally stretching. And when they got to the part where they could see the baby, they're like, oh my God, we see her butt. Yeah. They pulled her out, and it was like, she's out, and then she just started peeing. It was like, wait, she's peeing. She put her down, and it was like, Dad,
come here. It was like, Dad, come here. I'm just like in shock. I'm like, wow, she's here. I'm looking like, yo, she looks like my wife. It was a beautiful thing, man. I came to tell you like, Dad, take some pictures. I cut the umbilical cord. They took some pictures. Then they told me to grab her and bring her over to my wife, Tay. I brought her over to her, but Tay couldn't hold her because she just came from. She said she was shivering, and I just put her next to her, and I'm like, look at her, she looked just like her mom. Oh yeah, she was crying.
She just stopped crying.
She stopped crying.
Like, as soon as she heard my voice, she just stopped crying. She was just looking at me, and I was just looking at her. We were both looking like each other, and I was like, oh, she's so cute. But the most wonderful part of it was that Raya could breathe on her own.
Oh yeah, she came out breathing on her own, everything.
The only thing that it was is that she was small. She was 3 pounds and 8 ounces.
So she couldn't feed on her own.
And and she didn't develop the suck and swallow coordination, so she could not drink from her mouth. So she had to get a feeding tube through the nose, and that was all. And then she was just a small baby.
Yeah, that was about it.
So after my surgery, they stitched me back up. I felt them kind of like, now they took it apart, they were putting it back together. Consultant came in. She showed me how to hand express so I can get some milk out for my baby.
She showed me too.
So that he can help me get some milk out for my baby, because Ryan is premature, so it's even more important to make sure this baby has breast milk. And we were in the hospital. I opted to stay an extra day because with COVID you couldn't leave a day early, but I wanted to be close to my baby. So postpartum healing, it wasn't that bad. My stitching, they done it nice. It was the ones that they dissolve. My stomach, it was going down pretty fast. I'm like with the breast, that you can literally feel everything going in and coming out. It was like this weird exchange of body knowing that baby is not in anymore. The recovery for a C-section was a little bit longer because I couldn't laugh.
Yeah.
I couldn't walk.
Yeah. But you did good though. You did.
I couldn't drive for a while, like a month. Yeah. I didn't drive because I couldn't use my stomach muscles at all to even shift my foot from pedal to brake. The worst thing of it all, honestly, was my first bowel movement. That was just the most painful thing of it all. So
I remember.
If you're having a baby, make sure you take your stools off. And that's it. So Raya's in the NICU. It was a blessing in disguise, in my opinion. Because
yes. The NICU was definitely a blessing in disguise. I feel like the NICU prepared me a little more. It gave us enough time to prepare for her to come, because she came a little more, a little sudden, I feel like. But it helped us prepare her. It got me ready to understand how to change diaper, how to feed her. How to be a dad. I mean, it was great.
I honestly wasn't one of those first-time parents who finds out they're pregnant and starts going shopping. I didn't buy her anything.
We had to literally buy everything.
So we had to kind of get some premature clothes for her. I was breastfeeding, pumping. Back in the bottles, I had this whole fridge. I was
she was
milking like a
cow.
So
Raya needed that. She needed that breast milk. It helped a lot. You know what I mean? Another thing too, I feel like with women that are breastfeeding, I salute y'all. It's not an easy task. You know what I mean? It's a difficult task. Like I said, I salute y'all for it.
I think a lot of people think oh, NICU, no, it's bad. That's
bad.
But
yeah.
Honestly, I think it was good because Raya had a great sleeping schedule.
Yes.
She ate, she fed, everything on a schedule.
On the schedule.
She was used to swaddling. She didn't cry that much.
Yes.
Although we weren't able to be with her every waking day and night, it did give us some chance to, at least like you said, buy her some stuff, get our house together.
We moved. They got a 2-bedroom apartment. We was living out of 1 bedroom at a time. I feel like we needed to get a bigger space, and we got a 2-bedroom apartment. So it gave us time to look for apartments and move and do a whole bunch of other things.
It worked out. Raya's healthy. They usually say babies should catch up by 2, but by 1 year old, Raya was completely caught up.
Yeah.
Her weight, everything is fine.
Some of the video, you see how she running around. You know what I mean?
Running around, talking, saying things and stuff. So, I'll ask them a question because I just want to know. It's a lot of me talking, right? Because it was my body and my experience, but he had experience too. He had to experience his wife being in the hospital and not knowing if his baby was gonna make it or not and stuff, right? So what is your advice for men who are have a wife or a partner that's pregnant? What is the best way to support someone while they're pregnant?
When they're pregnant is basically be there for them. Don't make it seem like just because she's a woman or she's the mom, she got it all figured out and she does it by herself. No. Change diapers, help her feed the baby, you know what I mean? Get the bottle ready, clean the bottle, do something to make it easier for her, because she already going through enough already by giving birth to the baby. You understand what I'm saying? just be that support, you know what I mean? And I think it will go a long way. Like I said, change diapers, clean the bottle if you have to. I feel like women go through a lot when they're giving birth. If you're not there to support her, she's gonna feel alone, and you don't want that.
So, thank you for your answer. He was definitely really supportive.
I was gonna ask that too. How did I do during the pregnancy and after?
You were really good.
Okay.
I feel like you did the best that you could do, especially with the circumstances. Like,
yeah.
He couldn't be in the doctor's room with me, so we just FaceTime.
Yeah.
He used to always ask me what I needed before.
Yeah.
He had to drive somewhere to get me something special to eat. He would bring all my food, all my clothes, whatever I needed. It's like I was living large in this hospital. I had cereal, I had my own fridge, plug-it-ins, aromatherapy. I set it up very nice.
Yeah.
You were really supportive, and then once I gave birth to Raya, he was doing the night shift. I'm not a night person.
When she gives birth, you know, I think it's important. I feel like I take turns in the way, you know what I mean? So she could rest. So I was doing the night shift, like she said, and she was doing the morning. But it's not like she was doing the morning. I was not trying to help or nothing, no. But during the night shift, I would definitely let her sleep and take care of Raya during the night. Yeah, so I feel like that's very important too when she gets birth.
He would do that. Try to wash the bottles, stack the dishwasher, label the milk. Like if I'm pumping, he would take the milk and he would put it in the bags and label them for me, put them in the fridge, right? So it was really like we were working together. It wasn't no gender role assigned to any task. Like, I mean, besides the fact that I got the milk, so I have the pump, right? Like that is just how it is. He was just trying his best to fit in where he could or support where he couldn't. It really helped a lot. So if you have any questions for anything that we didn't discuss, please drop them in the comments so we can respond to you. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe.
Yes.
And give us a thumbs up for this video because we shared a lot of our life. I think people always see like, oh, we go on vacation and we going here and Devo got me this kid and this is what we're doing, but we do have tough times.
Yeah. We get, this is when we get personal. I feel like
So for more content and more videos, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and comment, right? Ask us some questions like I said before. Thank you for tuning in to the Drama
Experience.
Birthing Experience.
Oh yeah, birthing experience now.
Thank you for joining us. We love you.
Peace.